Hello, Tom.
Hi.
Today we'll continue our series of lessons, Speak Like President, and today's president is Lyndon Johnson. And oftentimes he is referred to as LBJ, right?
Mm-hmm.
And some presidents have abbreviations like JFK, John Kennedy, or Roosevelt, or
FDR.
FDR, right? So can you have an explanation why some presidents can be referred or typically referred by their initials and some don't? Is there any pattern?
I think it has to do with the way it sounds.
Mm-hmm.
If their initials sound pleasing,
Mm-hmm.
then people might be inclined to call them by their initials. Also, if people have a long name, that's another good reason to call them by their initials. Or it could also be if they have a fairly common name and you want to be very specific about who they are. And also it just has to do with if people understand what it means. If you use someone's initials and nobody understands the initials, that's not really gonna help.
Also, Jesus Christ, sometimes referred to as JC.
JC, right. Well, William Jefferson Clinton, WJC. Now, if you were to say that, most people probably wouldn't understand you. And I guess he might just go by Bill or some other name.
Okay, so Lyndon Johnson, any thoughts about him? Anything interesting or outstanding about him?
He was driven to power is the most common description of him. He was first elected to office through some sort of false voting scheme, apparently. And he was generally considered to be somewhat of a bully in the Senate. And he managed to gain a lot of power. As a matter of fact, one of the reasons why Kennedy supposedly brought him on board as vice president was because he was so powerful.
And Lyndon, is it still a popular name? Do you know people whose name is Lyndon?
Lyndon is not a popular name as far as I know right now. I can't think of one person named Lyndon anymore.
Now, there are not any favors that you can do for a senator that you remind him of. There's no cajolery or flattery involved. That doesn't appeal to a man that's capable and worthy of representing one of the great states in the Union. They're not schoolboys.
A cajolery refers to trying to convince someone to do something in an insincere way by telling them how great they are or by making them false promises. And usually it's understood that it's insincere, but the person that's doing it is so earnest, and sometimes they're powerful enough that they can intimidate the other person as well. Well, an example might be a child that wants some ice cream, and they try to cajole their mother to give them the ice cream, and the mother knows if she doesn't give the child what they want, that the child is just going to make her life miserable for the rest of the day. So in this case, the mother gives in to the child for that reason.
I thought parents cajole their kids. Like
parents do the same thing
cajole
too.
Their kids maybe to clean their rooms and promise something.
Parents do the same thing, exactly. It's a form of insincere flattery where people make promises to each other in order to get what they want.
Once they're convinced that the course of action that you present is for the best interest of America, you'll usually have a lopsided vote in your favor.
Lopsided refers to an uneven comparison between two different sides. Lopsided victory would mean that one side decisively beat the other side by a very high score. This could be in politics. For example, 60-40 would be a lopsided victory. Or it could be in sports. A 30-0 would be a lopsided victory. Lopsided can also refer to something that normally you expect it to be fairly evenly divided between sides, but one side is either heavier or larger than the other.
Someone could build a wall and it's crooked, so you can say that it's a lopsided wall.
You could say that. You could also say it's a crooked wall, too. I think if one side is significantly higher than the other, yes, you could say it's lopsided. Or let's say if somebody gets, let's just say something's wrong with their face or something, and then it swells up, you could say their face looks lopsided. Or you could have a box where one side's heavier than the other, and you could say it's lopsided. Or you could have a piece of furniture that's difficult to move, so you could say the furniture is lopsided as well.
Well, I presume that we all become a little more prudent as we grow older.
Prudent, that refers to very careful use of your resources. So if somebody is prudent with money, it means they're very careful about how they spend their money, even if they have extra money to spare. Similarly, prudent can refer to the way someone behaves. For example, somebody may be able to afford to make a bad decision, but they still don't. They still try to avoid that. They try to be very careful.
So to be prudent means to exercise good judgment.
Good judgment, careful judgment, conservative judgment.
That's all for today. Tom Taylor is an ESL tutor. He teaches English in the United States and outside, all over the world, using Skype. He can be reached at his website, which is
ESL-fullsteamahead.com.
Click on this link and check out his website and email with questions. Thank you, Tom, and I'll talk to you next time.
Thank you.